everybody. I am so excited. I cannot tell you. We've been searching and searching and searching for the last few days. I think Seb believes that this is Hukumuri, but I was just watching him there. He was doing a bit of geophagia, and I think it's because potentially the female has urinated there where he was eating that soil. He's marking now. He's wiped his face, having a bit of a spray. Now, obviously, with me still working out these cats, how many has he got on the top there? 1, 2, 3. He's got 3 on the left. I think Hukumuri's got 3. So, and I think this might be him. And you can confirm or not with me, with just the spot ratio. He's a beautiful cat indeed. And he's now looking down towards Vuyatela Dam. And remember that he has been in the area, but we haven't really spotted him that much. But we have been following his tracks. Now, My World, Your Music, thanks for your comment. That is an absolute stunner. Thank you for that. I'm just going to catch up with him because I haven't seen this guy. And sorry if I do anything strange. I'm just very excited now, folks. This has been me trying to find these guys for the last few days. My excitement might get a little bit ahead of me. There he is. I'll stop right here. How's that, Seb? Careful my head. Okay, I'll just put my head out the way there. Sorry, everyone. The leopard is more important to be seeing than the back of my head. And as I said, he's making his way towards Vuyatela Dam. So we'll just follow him a little bit before I let anybody else know that we're on this beautiful sighting. I think he might be defecating. Yep, he's just had a dropped a scat there. Now he's heading down towards the pan. I'm sure shortly we might be hearing a lot of alarm calls, but there's a lot of impala on the opposite side of the waterhole. Quite strange that he was really eating. I see it looks more like a scat there. So he was eating a scat. I'm pretty sure it was probably either Tandi or Shudulu's scat that he was feeding on there. And it's not, you know, it's mostly to do with them if they're in estrus or whatever. And then that's obviously being interpreted by the Jacobson's organ. So that's why they do start doing that. Okay, I'm going to move down now, Seb. Everyone, let's go. I'm going down towards Vuyatela Pan, so I think that's because he might be in the mood for a hunt. He hasn't given away his position. Yeah, so just asking me to go back a little bit. Say when. There we go, that's a bit better. There we go, everyone. Let's wait and see what he gets up to. It's taken a long time to find him, and I've been walking around on his tracks for a couple of days now. That's why I'm so excited. And look at this, the sort of breadth of those shoulders is just, for me, spectacular. Wonderful cat this is. Oh, it's heading towards that perfect time of the evening. There we go. Beautiful. Look at those eyes. This Hukumuri, you know, I was chatting with Seb on the way while we were busy driving, and it's not like he's the biggest leopard that I've ever seen, but he's like a street fighter. And I think that's the reason why the other leopards are a little bit wary of him, because, as I say, he's not the biggest, but I think he's got a real attitude about him and not scared for a fight. sometimes it's not always the biggest that wins the fight as well. Jake, leopards, it's quite difficult to say. They don't really have a particular smell when you're near to them. Obviously, when they've been feeding on a carcass and so on, you can sometimes smell that blood around them. But generally, quite clean cats. But when they do mark, you can sometimes smell that bit of a popcorny smell. And I know some people say, well, a lot of us say that, but I really smell that smell. It's like the potato bush, which smells like freshly cut potatoes in the evenings in autumn, which we start smelling now. Well, when a leopard marks, when you go to the cinema and you get that popcorn with the freshly melted butter on it, that smell is identical to that of leopard when they mark. Now, he's got a lovely tick just behind his right ear there, getting very fat. He actually needs an oxpecker to come down and pluck that off for him. Oh, it's going to fall off soon, I think. Oh, Linda, well, that's what I was sort of saying. Between Hukumuri and Tingana, I think Tingana has the potential of being bigger than him, but he's still quite a young cat compared to Hukumuri. And as I say, Hukumuri is just like a real street fighter type cat. And I'm just going to delve into my little notes about the leopards as well, and just to give you a better understanding of their backgrounds as well. So I keep these with me. And Hukumuri was born in 2011. Now, remember, you can always correct me if I'm wrong. And Tingana, no, sorry, I was thinking of Hosana. Excuse me, I got them confused. I often get Tingana and Hosana confused. For some reason, I always think that Hosana's Tingana's father, whereas it's the other way around. Now, yes, Tingana is bigger than Hukumuri, but for some reason, he's sort of laying low with Hukumuri being around. And that's what I say. It seems like Hukumuri's just got a bit of a harder attitude. Or maybe Tingana's just not up for the fight. Who knows? But this could all turn on its head, and Tingana could surprise all of us. Tingana, born in 2006, so he's a few years older than Hukumuri, a little bit more streetwise as well, so more streetwise. He's older, he's more experienced, he's more mature, but that might be the reason why he's not really up for the fight, because he knows what it's like to get beaten up. And there's all these things that we just try and throw into the whole sort of play of these leopards and their survival in this particular territory. But we do think that Hukumuri has now started to follow Shudulu around, the lady that likes hanging out on top of termite mounds. Look at that beautiful yawn. So yeah, Hukumuri, a reasonably young cat, and just asserting himself a little bit in this area, but who knows, maybe Tingana is going to chase him off, who knows. It's just a wait and see kind of scenario. We do just have the back of his head, I know, and I would love to have a better view, but I just want to wait a little bit to see what he does. Romit, I don't know of any new males that we haven't met yet. When we were on the tracks this morning, it looked like 2 individual males and a female, which looked to be Shudulu, Hukumuri, and potentially another male. We weren't quite sure because of how much up and down they were doing, but Herbie was saying to me that it might be djuma. Now, don't get excited and say that djuma is back on the property. We were speculating, and Herbie was also just looking at the tracks and thinking which one it could be, and the potential could be there that it could be djuma that has also joined the fray. and as I say, speculation, folks. So it's not fact. We were just looking at the tracks. For all intents and purposes, it could have just been Shudulu and Hukumuri. I think we can say without being too far off, is that Shudulu is mating with Hukumuri because of the amount of tracks that we can see. They're almost walking together, or he's following her. I don't think that we're far off the point there, because it's and I think the guys were saying that they have seen them mating at some time just recently. So it would be wonderful if Shudulu denned up somewhere here close by. Now, we've got this wonderful sighting, and I might just reposition soon, but it seems Steve's got something even better. Hukumuri, you beauty. It is fabulous that we can get now a beautiful frontal view. And it's definitely him now. He's got that 3-3 spot pattern, and just the shape of his head versus his shoulders as well. I've seen him a couple of times now, and yep. See, even, I know leopards and so on very well, but I don't know these particular characters that well. For me, it's just, I need to spend some time with them. I've got the different distinguishing characteristics of each, but until you've actually sat with them and just checked them out, it's easy to see them on paper and read different characteristics, but it's another to actually sit with them and see just their different facial spots, etc. Spend some time with them and see their character. But he is a beautiful cat. He's got a very mean look to his eyes as well. And he's a bit irritated. There's a couple of mongoose and... Oh, look at that stretch. He might go down for a drink. He's yawning a lot, as if he has just sort of woken up from a bit of a slumber, and he's coming straight down towards the vehicle now. A little mongoose or alarm calling at him. He's got a bit of a missing patch on the top of his left shoulder there. He's going to go right behind the vehicle. I might just have to swing round the other way. He's going directly behind us. There he is. He's quite relaxed. There he goes through the long grass. I thought he was going to go down for a drink, but maybe he's still just keeping cover. None of these antelope have spotted him. They are in parlour on the opposite bank. So I will be following this young man regardless of what happens. I think he's going to mark again. Yep, there he goes, rubbing everywhere he goes, eh? Typical of a male leopard that is following a female around and also proclaiming himself in the area. A little bit of a double purpose going on here, I believe. Are you going to come back down, or are you going to stay up there, Hukumuri? Blue Toro, I haven't seen a leopard scent mark while he's in a tree. I always see them go down below and then mark once they get to the bottom, because they're generally wanting, sort of mobile leopards to come across that smell, and it's generally on the ground, in the bushes, in things close to where other leopards would be walking around. So it would be a little bit of a waste for them to mark up in a tree. There's potentially not sort of send the message where they wanted to. He's walking now, he's continuing. I am going to move again soon and get ahead of him again. A couple of other vehicles now joining us. Holly, that's a good question. They don't generally... I'm just listening. I thought you might have called in now, but it's actually the other vehicle. Holly, they can tell the sex, but not from looking at another leopard from very far away. They would obviously get very interested, but generally it's more so from their smell. So that's what he was doing there. He was actually digging and scratching and actually tasting and feeding on some of that female leopard's scat, just a little bit when we first spotted him. And they'll also sniff around like he's doing now and be able to tell whether it's male or female from sniffing and getting anywhere where there has been a scent mark from another leopard. Joshua, yes. Female leopards have been known to leave their own territory in search of male leopards, and they can also make themselves available to numerous male leopards. And that then sort of does make the males fight amongst themselves, but it does then ensure a good mix of genes and the strongest genes coming through too. So they are a little bit promiscuous, but it's all in the name of getting the strongest genes through into her offspring. She wants the best father to get his genes going through with hers. There, clear view of the scent marking there as he majestically starts walking up the road again. See how that foot is raised, eh? He's just walking on his toes. On the fingers, not on the tips of his toes. He's walking on the fingers where the rest of the foot is raised. Where it looks like his ankle, that is... that is his ankle, just raised up there. His tail is down, it's not up, so there's a potential for him to be hunting. He hasn't given away his presence just yet, but he's got that swagger, hasn't he? And that Hukumuri swagger. So he is going to be going around the corner shortly. I'm going to be following up. I don't want to get too far behind and lose sight of him, isn't it? There he is. Okay, so you see we are with him, but he's on the move. And I'm just going to go a little bit forward now again. There's a vehicle behind me as well. So we just want to stick with the old boy. Scallywag, as Steve called him. I don't think that's very apt for Hukumuri. I think he's anything but a scallywag. I think a street fighter would be more obvious. Is he going to come through right here? There he is. Okay, so we're just flanking him quite closely. Just stopped here just recently. Lisa, if a leopard does smell another leopard, it all depends on what leopard they've smelt. Potentially they can leave the territory. Oh, there's all sorts that have spotted him now. Crazy. Not sure if you can hear them, but the monkeys are going nuts. And he is definitely heading down towards Gallico Pan. Okay, so I'm going to follow up behind him. Just after this vehicle's gone in front. He's marking a lot. Dale, I don't know why it smells like popcorn. It's really strange because normally cat urine is quite a pungent, very nasty smell, but for some reason leopard smell is quite pleasant. I don't know if it's because they're such wonderfully beautiful cats and it would just be an insult for them to have smelly urine. I don't know, but yeah, it's one of the most pleasant smelling urine of all the cats, I would say. Now everyone, he's gone to Gallagher Pan, but not with the intention of drinking. He's literally gone there, marked, turned around and come back where he came from. So it's very clear to me that he might not even be interested in hunting either. I'm not sure that this guy is interested in anything but finding Shudulu. So it'll be very interesting indeed. Will be wonderful to see if he takes us to Shudulu, in fact, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So we just follow him and eventually he might go down into the thicket here. Reptilian Research, we watched him. He actually nearly marked us a minute ago because he came up to a bush right next to us and we nearly got sprayed. So we were nearly smelling like popcorn as well. And it's, yeah, it just depends. If you're next to a bush where he just decided that he's going to come and mark, well, he might just extend the spray all the way onto you. I actually once had one of my students that was on a tracker seat and he got sprayed on his feet when we were sitting next to a leopard sighting. He got quite a surprise. Sorry, I just wanted to move. Sorry, Seb. JME, well, Hassan is obviously going to be taking note of all of the scent marking, and maybe that's why he's laying low a little bit with Tingana out in the Chitwa area. So I'll just move forward here so that we can just watch him a little bit there. He's going to mark again and then head out onto the trail once more. That's what he's doing now all the time. He's just walking, marking, walking, marking. What a beautiful cat, eh? Hukumuri, you have just made my day. We were looking for you the whole morning. Let the other guys go in front for a turn. We take turns. Everybody, there's a vehicle coming in front. We all have our turn to get up close and personal, and there's quite a few guests with us as well. So let's try and catch up with him again. We're going to follow him probably until the end of drive, everybody, so don't worry. We'll try and stay right up with him. But it seems David's got a beautiful bird to show you.